Hello, everyone. Welcome to our presentation, Innovate Your Career, Become Indispensable. We are excited you have joined us today, wherever you're watching from around the country. My name is Victoria Okotie. I am the Director of Data Science and Analytics with Kevin Mitch Group. Co-presenting with me today is Mildred Mabirizi, who co-authored with me the book, Innovate Your Career, Become Indispensable. So today we'll be sharing 3 innovative strategies to help you become indispensable in your career journey. And these strategies are also found in our book. So Mildred, talk to us about what a successful career in technology requires.
So Vicky, hello everyone. Good to be spending this time with you. So a successful career in technology requires 4 key ingredients: experience, your qualification, or it could be your skills, the opportunity or the timing when that opportunity comes, and relationships.
Of course, relationships, yeah.
Exactly, right? Because becoming indispensable is more than just working hard and exceeding performance metrics. It begins with knowing your value and confidently advocating for yourself. And so, Vicky, as we have this dialogue, this presentation and dialogue as we're sharing, we're looking to share 3 strategies, right? Which is knowing your competitive advantage, taking the road less traveled, and playing to win. Do you notice the action words, right? Know, take, play. So Vicky, when we are talking in the context of a career, as we explore right now our first strategy, what does competitive advantage mean?
That's a great question. So before I answer that, there's this quote that speaks to me so strongly by Karl Albrecht. And he said, there are only 2 ways to establish competitive advantage. You either do things better than others or do them differently. So I will define competitive advantage as the favorable differentiator in a career that enables one to outperform others. So like you mentioned, I believe each of us have our own unique combination of experiences and our skills, our abilities, our training, the passion we have, even our natural talents, the opportunities, our strengths, our education, our achievements, all of this that sets us apart from others. And knowing our competitive advantage is crucial to an indispensable career.
I agree with you, Vicky, because many times it's so easy for us, especially when we're talking about careers, to look at others and want to follow the example of what they did or what they're doing. We're looking to compete with others, right?
Right.
Which sometimes we're not saying that competition is a bad thing or looking at people as role models is a bad thing. But I think here what we're trying to pull out is you as an individual, you are different.
Right.
And because of that difference, knowing the things that you bring to the table, what value do you add? That is a key separator. And I think it's one of those keys that helps people. Once you figure that out, this is who I am. This is my passion, right? My passion, taking complex strategies and breaking them down into pragmatic solutions. That could be, a passion that you have and also a skill set that you have. But I also did like the thing that you said. It is, the opportunities or even the relationships that you have, that accessibility to different people. It could be the accessibility to senior vice presidents within your organization because they're mentoring you. That also, is things that you as a person, you need to sit down and identify what you have that sets you apart. Because I like the word that you used, differentiator, that enables you to outperform. Right?
Yes, Mildred, in the business world, companies need to know their competitive advantage and build on that. Not just to even exist, but to excel. But there's something that I think our listeners need to understand, and that is it's important to understand the motive with which you're doing this. Henry Ford once said that competition whose motive is merely to compete, to drive some other fellow out, never carries very far. But the competitor to be feared is the one who never bothers about you at all, but goes on making his own business better all the time. So there's this element of you're focused on your own career journey. You want to innovate your career. It's not about looking over your shoulders and seeing where others are and comparing yourself and then driving yourself in whatever direction haphazardly, or this is the demand skills for this time. I need to hop over to this, or this is the area everyone is moving to. I need to do that. No, one needs to be very clear about what your passions, your skills, your talents are, and moving in that direction confidently, not with an aim of competing with a fellow co-worker, not with the aim of being the only one to stand out in the team, but with the aim of making your value more stronger and more beneficial to the company or the business you are in.
I totally agree with that, Vicky. And what I'm hearing you leaving with our listeners is figure out what your experiences are, figure out what your passion is, figure out what differentiates you that you could use to help you become better, a better individual, better person, better employee, better, business owner. Just focus on you and what your differentiator is that will help you to outperform or to do even better. So what is the main thing that we're leaving with people today to remember, Vicky?
Well, the main message on the first strategy is this: your ability to leverage your competitive advantage is key. It is key to innovating your career, and it is key to becoming indispensable. And to do that, we move to the second strategy, taking the road less traveled. So, Mildred, give us some background to this expression, take the road less traveled.
Yes. So many times, when we think about career, we don't really think about it from a journey standpoint. Because a journey, Vicky, is not a sprint, right? It's not a ladder and it's not a maze. It's a journey. You start out, once be it graduated, you start out, and each and every single day you add and you make strides, you keep moving to, throughout your journey. And, sometimes certain experiences, because they don't fit in your path, others probably might have taken, a path that is the end goal seems like it's similar. It is maybe becoming the CEO is what you're looking at. And others might be CEOs, but their journey will not necessarily look the same as your journey. Right. Your journey will look different because remember, just like we said in the first strategy of you becoming indispensable, is the way your competitive advantage, what sets you apart might be different than what sets somebody else apart. So as you take the journey and navigate that journey, you need to look at, hey, where do I, as an individual, will I get the most advantage if I take this path or this other path? So it just beginning with the understanding that it's a journey and everyone's journey is different.
You know, there's also this element of diversity. More and more, there is a realization of the beauty of diversity and the power and the advantage of diversity and diverse experiences and perspectives, diversity in thoughts, diversity in skills, as opposed to group thinking. And so gone are the days when careers were traditional, where you follow a straight route and move in a certain sequence to get to the top of the organization. Today, most people are taking non-traditional career paths that are windy, but paths that are built around growth, around creativity, around personal satisfaction, and even around autonomy. And so it's important to decide on what is important for you and the different phases of life you're in. It's also important to know that it's counterproductive to always follow the status quo, because you are trailblazing on your own career path and not on others. And sometimes on the path, on the journey, there may be detours, right? There may be diversions. And ultimately, all this will combine to making your career or your competitive advantage strong. I love this quote by Katie Couric. And she says, be fearless. Be fearless. Have the courage to take risks. Go where there are no guarantees. Get out of your comfort zone, even if it means being uncomfortable. Take the road less traveled, because the road less traveled is sometimes fraught with barricades and bumps and uncharted terrain. But it is on that road where your character is truly tested. And have the courage, she says, to accept that you're not perfect and nothing and no one is. And that's okay. I love that.
I love that too. It reminds me, honestly, of another quote that thinking about right now. It's, and I don't know who wrote this quote. It says, do not go where the path may lead you. Go instead where there's no path and leave a trail. In becoming indispensable, it does mean, honestly, this is not easy work. It does mean to take a risk. And I did like the portion where you say it is, sometimes people ramp up and sometimes you take a detour. Sometimes there might be potholes. And many times we are afraid. And if we are not afraid, those around us, they could be our mentors, they could be our coaches, they'll question us, why are you taking that path? Nobody has ever done that path and been able to reach to point X. You as a person have to be willing to take that risk, especially if it is something that you really, really need and that will help you to be able to succeed. Be confident and take that risk, because that is where the reward is. And many times I also do tell people, and I've told myself this, that's why I say I do tell people this, is sometimes you're going to jump into that waters or take that path, and things might not come out the way you expected. Count that as an experience. It is a lesson to learn out of it, but it is also the experience that you get out of it, how you maneuvered it, that will lead you to your next step and your next bit. So taking the road less traveled, like we're saying, you're going to leave a trail. You'll be the first person blazing that trail, but also embrace the risks that come with it and, be fearless as you take it.
Mildred, there's something I think we need to leave our readers with, and that is we express that it is not easy blazing a new path. It may require going back to school. It may require some learning of the new skills. I mean, we see today how digital and data skills are playing a critical role in accelerating the digital transformation. And many of these technology skills and data skills are becoming in more demand. I mean, we see companies hiring more people with, machine learning or visualization or product delivery or platform skills or even technology skills, like cloud computing and web development. And all the skills are essential because we know that whatever you learn and how you upskill yourself, you're only adding to your value. Right? And so not knowing how what may be around the corner, it's always important to take advantage of opportunities to continue developing and building complementary skills as you move on your career journey.
Yes. So Vicky, before we move into the third strategy, what are we leaving with our viewers?
Well, we are reminding our viewers. Again, we're going back to the key message. It is crucial to innovate your career, especially in this digital age. It is crucial to build indispensable careers. And we know that we want to encourage you to not only listen, but to also move to act and to pick one or two goals that you will embark on for 2022. And, and find an accountability partner, find a friend, a mentor to be able to keep you accountable and think about how you can move on to innovate your career more powerfully than you have done in the past.
Yes. So as we transition into our third and final strategy for right now, I like this quote by David Ogilvy. He says, "Play to win, but enjoy the fun."
Love it.
I have noticed that in the corporate world, in the business world, we use a lot of terminology, around, sports, first base, or, now I'm just, the terminology is lost to my head right now, sorry. But you know what? It does, in the book, Nice Girls Don't Get Corner Office, she actually says this, is that sometimes because of us as women, we shy away from, sports, is that these words don't come, very natural to us, yet in reality, these are words that, we need to embrace. But what does a play to win really look like, Vicky?
I think, Mildred, it begins first with the mindset. Yes. The mindset that refuses to accept that your choices are limited by narrow scope of expectations. Yes. Is to have a strategy to your career and have fun as you execute your strategy. It means understanding your self-worth. In our book, Innovate Your Career, Become Indispensable, we begin with owning your career confidence. And we know that this is an important factor in having a successful career. Yes. Yes. So in order to play to win, you have to be strategic if you want to take your career to the next step or to get that dream job. You have to understand what is strategically important to your organization or the industry needs and align yourself with it. It is important to do a personal SWOT analysis, to know your weaknesses, to know your strengths, to know your threats so that you can position yourself to the opportunities. It is also important to understand the subtlety around you, the subtlety in which you're walking, and the nuances and not focus on lost opportunity, not focusing on avoiding failure, not focusing on playing safe,
Yep.
but having a strategy, not one that everyone has, but
Yes.
one that fits your own set of uniqueness,
Yes.
your own set of situation, your personality, your passions, your value, your preference, your weakness, your strengths, and your needs.
Yes, I will agree with that. I do tell a mentor of mine shared with me a graph of how, that I work with, as I plot my path. On the y-axis or the vertical axis, I have, where I want to be. And then on the x-axis or the horizontal axis, I have time. And on that, just plotting out, moving through 5 years, where do I want to be? Which road do I want to take? And then understanding the moves. It doesn't mean that everything works that way. But going back to what I really liked what you said is companies, I think you said it when we're talking about taking the road less traveled. Companies do have, strategies in order to become better. And how much more for us as individuals, it's your career, it's your journey. Even when you're going somewhere, you create a map, right? You create what I'm going to do at this destination X, Y, and sometimes things alter, but making sure that you have that personal strategy and take ownership of it is what I heard you say, is that take ownership of it and don't take your eyes off the ball. You are the person in charge of it. It's not anybody else in charge. It's not your boss. It's not your mentor. It's you, the person in charge. You are in the driver's seat. You're the person making that strategy and moving those blocks around and knowing where it is that your destination is and how you want to get there and how much time you have, right? Depending on other things that come into your life, which is, just like a road, right? We have people ramping on with their cars and, people ramping off for, whatever reason. So it is imperative that you stay focused. And as you do it, have fun, just absolutely have fun, because that's, it's your life, it's your career, and, it doesn't benefit if you don't enjoy it, right?
Right. And Mildred, before we leave this final strategy, I want to leave listeners and viewers with two more important points. One is about ambition. Generally, people tend to feel that the word ambition is something that is seen as negative. You see, there's no shame in being ambitious, because I have never seen a hiring manager looking for an unambitious person, right?
No, so, that's correct.
Ambition should not have a negative connotation, especially for women. And then there's this also aspect of making job moves or making career moves. So it's important to evaluate opportunities that you come across and see if it fits in your career goals.
Yes.
Okay. And not to be constantly bending your career to fit the job needs.
Yes.
Sometimes you may need to make job moves. It could be maybe there is a situation whereby you have some financial challenges or some family personal issues, but generally your career moves must be in line with your goals and your values. And you cannot jump for every opportunity that comes your path. No. Okay, Mildred, I think we have touched on all three strategies. Let's recap what we've discussed.
Yes. So we did discuss and said that to innovate your career and become indispensable is more than just working hard and exceeding performance metrics, right?
Right.
And then we said that you need to know your competitive advantage and the value you bring to the table. Know yourself. And then we talked about the road less traveled and the willingness to challenge the status quo and also be able to take risk.
Right.
And the last one we just talked about was play to win confidently and learning the lessons even from your losses. And like you said, being ambitious is not a bad thing either.
Very true. Mildred, I have thoroughly enjoyed our conversation. And so to our listening audience, if you have been inspired by this talk, we want you to write down one thing today that you will do to become indispensable. Share it with a friend, share it with a mentor for accountability. Thank you for listening, and we look forward to your questions.